Wow, what a fantastic meeting. Hope you enjoyed it and learned as much as I did this morning. And Matt, to you and your team, I have to say a great appreciation again. We have a very, very small team involved in sustainability full time because we have 2.2 million associates involved in it as a part of their job. And when all of us, and it's integrated in what we do, it doesn't take a lot of people like Matt. But Matt, we really appreciate you and your team for facilitating this meeting and all of this. Yeah, it's interesting. I love some of the topics of today's discussions. You know, the farmers, whether here in upstate New York, the story we saw there, to the UK that ASDA's working with farmers. You know, for me personally, it hit home a little bit. Both of my grandfathers were farmers. So I was thinking about my grandchildren. So back when I was in their age, kind of growing up around farms and farmers and the environment there. And you know what it really hit home to me is how this positive influence we can have in working around the world with the agriculture industry. We'll end up helping deliver customers better products in the stores, but the whole supply chain. John, you and I visited in India, the opportunity we have there in India to work with the agriculture industry. I'll never forget, we had the international presidents a couple of years ago in Costa Rica. We visited a farmer who was really working collaboratively with the Walmart business there. And it's really, how do you do it in a sustainable way and also produce product on farms, you know, that really is exactly what the customer wants. This farmer, I will never forget, as he stood in front of the presidents of our international business, and he said, I was once just a peasant worker on a farm. Now, because of working with Walmart, I've got my own farm, and I'm working my way toward the top. And, you know, the inspiration that he had as a farmer who went from just a worker to one who's now got his own farm and working with the business in Costa Rica was inspiring. And I still see this great opportunity to work, as we saw several of the examples this morning. I love the focus on the complete life cycle. You know, we in the past, maybe we would only have focused on the final product that we received in the store. And now, John, and across the businesses, that whole life cycle analysis is very, very important, isn't it? Because it's really, to look at sustainability and the footprint, you have to look at the whole life cycle and really complete that closed loop. Eduardo and I kept sitting in the meeting talking about closed loop and how, as engineers, you know we'd be sitting there kind of enjoying the discussion, because creating closed loop systems that eliminate waste and inefficiency, it's you could say an engineer's dream, wasn't it? But yet it really is the way we should be looking at all of this as we develop the products of the future for our customer. I also really appreciate it, I think, in every discussion with the three business units and others, real focus on the customer, the consumer. And we couldn't have a meeting like this if we really don't step back and think about that customer that's in our stores and the customer that will be there 5 years, 10 years, and 50 years from now. I love the fact that we have that passion, because sometimes we'll get up, and you saw the cheer this morning. We say, who's number one? The customer. Sometimes I worry, because I can see us doing the cheer and saying the customer's number one, but we don't always walk our talk. I think in this area of sustainability, when we really stay focused on the customer and what's the customer looking for, and in the future, what will the customer look for, then I really believe that we're on the right path. I think it's clearly said. We know from our children, grandchildren, from university students, this is a critical issue to our customers. It's critical to the world, and I think that's why I'm really so proud to get a chance to be here and be involved with it. I even thought about, the video of the farm with the cows. You know, when you think about what's happening in that whole closed loop, with knowing that is going to lead to great value sour cream and milk products from that farm, and then even the manure. Did you notice those cows even looked happy? Didn't you notice that? I mean, so just knowing that they're a part of this, so When I said it takes partnership, it really takes partnership. And so all the way around. As I said, we celebrate and we look ahead, and we're always challenging ourselves to raise the bar. Matt, I was thinking about even these meetings, everyone gets better and better. So I was already starting to think about, what do you do next and where are we headed? This index is really critical. I think you see we are serious about this, and this will lead, I think, to some great, great steps ahead in the future. But I also was wondering, what else should we be doing? And, what other thoughts do you have about the next steps in sustainability? And, I'd love to ask each and every one of you. Obviously, our time is just about up with a couple of minutes left, and maybe I can only ask one. So, Michelle Harvey, you've been with us now, 3 years or so? Can we get Michelle a microphone? I don't want to put you on the spot. How long have you been involved with Walmart?
EDF has been involved since 2005.
Right.
We opened the office here in 2007. So I've been here a little over 2 years.
And in case you missed it earlier, Environmental Defense Fund. And so you've been to some meetings and you've been working with us closely.
Yep.
So I was curious if I could even got a badge that with your picture on it. If all of you other visitors, many of you here for the first time, if you come frequently enough, we'll get you a badge with your picture on it. That makes it easier. But like Michelle, so if you were thinking about what's next, for Walmart, for all of us working together, what should we be thinking about to think of? Sometimes I ask the question, what comes after what comes next? So now we announced this morning what comes next is Sustainability Index. So now what comes after that? What else should we be thinking about, Michelle?
I think the real opportunity that you have, Mike, is in leveraging the partnerships that you've got. And I do want to say that Environmental Defense Fund is here on our own dime. We are truly a partner. We put our skin in the game too. Mm-hmm. And the reason we do it is because Walmart has already taken really significant leadership steps. I think what's next is not just making data available, but showing that you're driving the numbers down. And I think Leslie referenced it in his opening remarks. Right. I think the signature issue of our time is climate.
Right.
I think Walmart's identified that you're less than 10% of your footprint. Mm-hmm. What's next, I think, is continued leadership and stepping up with a climate commitment that drives that carbon out of your supply chain.
Right.
And so I appreciate the chance to share that thought.
Well, great. Thank you very much. So Michelle's challenging us to think about climate and carbon. And, a lot of this requires some reading and work, doesn't it? This, I think if it's another message you'd get, even the story from the UK, Paul, it makes me think about something I've heard said here in this auditorium many times. Retail is detail. You can't just kind of superficially look at our business. You really have to get involved in the details. You really have to go deeper and deeper. And I think even the topics, as we've discussed, life cycle, or when we talk about topics like carbon, it's not a top-of-surface, superficial topic. It's one that requires the commitment to be involved in it and understand more about the details. So, good challenge. We appreciate that. That'll be great. I bet we'll come up with something. This group of associates, when this group of Walmart associates gets excited about things, it's amazing the impact that this group of associates can have on the world. I was saying earlier to the meeting, I think with Jessie, we were talking earlier about why she got into her role with energy. And we were referring back, I think, to something that Sam Walton said years ago. He said Walmart is a company of just ordinary people accomplishing extraordinary tasks. When you think that Sam Walton today, if he could see, and he does, this ordinary group of people at Walmart accomplishing the extraordinary tasks that are being accomplished, would be just immensely proud.